Alright, guys. Welcome to Children's Church. We're starting now, okay? So I hope everybody's happy to be here. I know I'm happy to be here. Have a seat.
I was going to go get a drink.
Have a seat.
I'm going to go
Have a seat. Have a seat. Thank you. Okay, welcome to Children's Church now, guys. So today we're going to be talking about the fruit of the Spirit. Okay, we just did our craft and it showed us some stuff about fruit and spirit. So what in the world does fruit have to do with spirit?
The fruit comes from the sky with a leaf in it.
The fruit comes from the sky with a leaf in it. That's a pretty good answer, but not exactly what I'm looking for.
What about?
Shh. Here it tells us right here in Galatians 5:22 and 23. It says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance." That's like patience. Kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And when you got all these things going on, against such things there's no law. So, Connor, what does it mean when the Bible calls things fruit? What does it mean?
Me.
It means
Dun, 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 dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun, fruit grows naturally just because of what it is. You guys ever see like this? See this? It's an orange tree. Do you ever see orange trees? And some farmer has to go out there and say, "Orange tree, you grow oranges."
What about from money?
How about the guy goes up and goes, "Orange tree, grow"? So, do they have to do that? No, because orange trees grow oranges because they're orange trees. It's just natural. It's what they do. But now, what does love look like in our life? Because it says that one of the fruit of the Spirit is love. What does that look like? Well, an expert in the law asked Jesus a question very much like that. He asked them, well, he was trying to justify himself. So Jesus he says, "I want to go ahead and tell you a story of what love looks like." That's one of our fruits of the Spirit, right? So he says, "I'm going to show you what it looks like." So he told them a story. Story about a man who took a trip from Jerusalem down to Jericho. Shh, listen. This story might have a terrible ending. You see, while this guy was going down, he met some people on the road, and they were bad men. They grabbed him, and they threw him down, and they hit him with sticks. They beat him, and they robbed him. They were robbers. It was a terrible thing.
Wait a sec. I think they are bad guys would take money.
They are bad guys and they take money. That's right, they took all of his money. They even took his clothes. They were really bad guys, and when they were done beating him, they left him on the road, badly injured and almost dead. Now, this is a road that was very well traveled. So some people are going to come along. Let's see what happens. Jesus says, well, the first guy that came by, he was a priest. This guy, he actually served in the temple. He should be a good guy, right?
Yeah.
So he walks by this guy and he stops and he looks. And he looks at him and goes, this guy's, he's hurt. I don't want anything to do with this. And he walks on by without helping at all.
That's bad.
That's bad. Well, guess what? Somebody else is going to come by. This is a Levite. This is one of God's special people of a special tribe that God set aside to serve and love him. So this guy should be good, right? So he walks by. He sees the guy. And he looks at him and he goes, this guy's injured. And he's in bad shape. I don't want nothing to do with him. So he goes by and doesn't help either. That's terrible!
Yeah, that's bad and terrible and hideous!
Yes, and hideous! But somebody else is about to walk by. This is a Samaritan.
He's gonna help him, that's
He
good!
had pity on him. He had compassion. He had love in his heart for this poor injured man. So as he walks by, he stops and he sees him. And he gets down and he helps the guy out. he applies medicine to his wounds, and he gave him something to drink, and he bandaged up his wounds so that he wouldn't bleed, and he actually put him on his own donkey and took him all the way to the closest, like an inn, kind of like a Marriott or a Hilton. Took him to a nice hotel where he could be taken care of. He actually helped this guy for a long time, but he had to keep going, so he made a deal. He says, I'm going to give you 2 days' wages. That's 2 days. That's like 2 days' wages. I'm going to give this to you, and you use this to help out this guy while I'm gone, okay? Because I got to go. But he said, I am going to come back, and I want you to keep helping this guy until I come back. And I promise you, I will give you whatever else you spent on this guy, above and beyond the money I've already given you. See, that's what compassion looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, when Jesus was done with the story, Jesus looked right at this expert of the law, and he said, who do you think was the neighbor of that man who was attacked by robbers? Who do you think showed love? Was it the priest? Was it the Levite? Was it the Samaritan?
Samaritan. The Samaritan.
Well, the guy thought for a moment. Remember, he'd been trying to justify himself. He didn't want to help people that he didn't like. But when he saw Jesus' story, he realized, and he answered Jesus. He said, the one who had mercy on him. And Jesus smiled. Jesus nodded and he said, yeah, that's right. Now you go and do just like that. Show compassion, show love. That's what it's talking about when it says the fruit of the Spirit is love. So what does love look like in our lives? What's that look like? What? What's it look like?
Filled with rose with some love.
Yes, it looks like this. It looks like doing good and helping people. Showing God's love by doing good things, just like that Good Samaritan guy did.
Like holding his kids when they're riding a bike when they don't know.
Yes.
Without training wheels.
Holding a child while he's riding his bike and he's learning without training wheels. That's exactly right.
And when he falls, they just put his train back.
You can help him back up. That's right.
Or just get decide that you don't want him
So,
to be forward.
that's what the fruit of the Spirit is.
Or just push him and just hold on the back and then he does.
Then push. Yeah.
And then he does. And then he balances.
So the first of the fruit of the Spirit is love. Now, what have we learned? What have we learned?
Wait.
Well, here, I'll tell you what we've learned. First, we've learned that fruit is something that grows naturally by itself. You don't have to force it. So if you want love to grow in your heart, you have to squeeze real hard to make the love come out.
Like this?
No. Love will grow in us because we're followers of Jesus. That's just the way it is because you're a follower of Jesus. Now, love is something that we should have when we are followers of Jesus. Why? Because He is full of love, and we're going to be like Him. And then finally, Jesus wants us to show that love to everybody else. Remember what our memory verse showed us? It told us, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And against all that good stuff, you don't need a law because you are being just like Jesus. And you find that in Galatians 5:22. And that is what our story is all about.
But I'm going to get that.
Okay, Misu, we can go ahead and get ready, and we will be praying now.
I'm